What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. We are back for season 2 of the First Wives Club over on BET, starring Jill Scott. So the ladies are back. So let's just go lady by lady. Let's get caught up on what we have going on. So Hazel, who of course is played by Jill Scott, she is on a world tour. She is running her record company, but she is also is in love, I guess. Got herself a little boo thing that's going on, that's on tour with her. Nice little piece of chocolate. But we see that she is so caught up in entertaining him and entertaining her fans that she's sort of not really paying as much attention to her record label as she should be, okay? Even to the point where we get to the end of the episode and baby, she done got engaged to this man. And of course her friends are giving her the side eye like, girl, you just went through a horrific divorce. Like, slow down, okay? Then we meet, but we catch up with Ari. Now, at the end of last season, I knew Ari was going back into private practice and told her husband that she didn't want to run his campaign anymore. But what we didn't know is that this new job was going to take her to LA. So now her husband, who is now a state senator living in Albany, is they're having this long distance relationship because she is in LA setting up the new office. Now that might have been part of the story, but I'm just telling you I forgot because that was a long time ago. So they are having a hard time with trying to connect. And, you know, it's always, long distance are hard, especially when you have two full-time demanding careers, right? So that's what's going on with them. Then we have Bree. Bree and her husband, they agreed to work it out at the end of last season, and they was back in love trying to make it happen. But it seems like they have fallen back into old habits. She's caught up at work. He's doing whatever he's doing, and they just not clicking. Now, we have a new character that has sort of come into the picture, Jayla. Jayla is a friend of Ari's, and she actually recommended her for a job at the law firm in New York. And we see that she's a divorce attorney. I think she actually did Hazel's divorce last season. But she's Hazel's divorce attorney. And no, Ari did her divorce. But anyway, neither here nor there. She's a divorce attorney, and we see she's going to be working on, she's going to be working on Maxine's divorce case. Child, Maxine, who's played by Essence Atkins, was on stage, honey. She's the CEO and founder of this company called Anonymously, which is basically a dating app for men who want to cheat on or women who want to cheat on their significant others. And she is up on stage doing her best, TED Talk on how I became successful in my business. And baby, she opened up the floor for questions, and the first person that came down the aisle was a process server, baby, and served her with her divorce papers from her husband. Now we find out that when Jayla met with her about it, come to find out they had no prenup, and she actually had her husband on payroll. Now her thing was, he ain't doing nothing, like he not no real job. Like, I did that to help him save face. Like, he ain't really working and doing nothing. But that doesn't change the fact that the laws are the laws, and you have him on payroll. And so we see her easing herself in. Now we find out that her and Hazel have some sort of beef from back in the day, child. So I'm sure that's going to be a dynamic there, because we know Hazel is special. Okay. Later on in the episode, we see them actually all go out to dinner together, and we definitely see where Hazel is giving the whole, what's she doing here? Ain't nobody invite you to my dinner vibes, right? So Ari, like I told you guys, is in LA setting up her new office, and her husband agreed that they are going to do an online, cyber dinner. And, she gets home late. She calls him. He's asleep on the couch because, of course, we have a 3-hour time difference, and they agreed for 7 o'clock, but her tale didn't take into consideration 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So it's really, 10 o'clock our time on the East Coast, and it's 7 o'clock her time. So he is asleep, upset, tired, because he was up. He said he did cook a dinner, and she was like, did you really cook? He was like, no, I ordered the dinner, but I did make my own salad. She was like, why would you do that? Why didn't you just order a salad when you ordered dinner? He was like, don't be trying to change the story. Don't be trying to change the story. It doesn't matter. It just, what matters is I'm making the effort. We said we were going to try to make this long distance thing work, and it's not working because I'm going to need you. And she said, well, I'm sorry. I'm going to do better. She said, well, but we have this weekend. And she started unbuttoning her shirt. And he was like, oh, okay. You about to give me a preview? And she was like, no. When you get here, because he was coming out to L.A. to spend the weekend with her. She said, no, when you get here, I want you hot and heavy and ready for me. And he was like, okay. She was like, I want you pent up. He was like, oh, I'm pent. So then later on, we see her talking to Bree. She done went out and bought her some, you know, expensive underwear, some $400 drawers and a $600 bra, you know, some La Perla type stuff. And Bree was like, girl, what is wrong with you? Because she said, see, that's why, you know, you out here doing real extra stuff. She was like, you could have just went and got you some cotton drawers from Dwayne Reed with a coupon and, you know, make it do what it do. Like, you're gonna pay all that money, $1,000 for him to unwrap a gift he done already unwrapped 1,000 times. And Ari was like, okay, well, Bree, how's that working out for you? Because let me tell you about what's going on with Bree and her man. So again, like I said, Bree is working hard. Well, hold on, I'm gonna get to Bree in a second. Let me finish up Ari. So her husband was supposed to fly out and spend the weekend with her. Well, come to find out, he missed his flight. Now, he came up with some story about witnessing a car accident and having to give a statement to the police. Now, under normal circumstances, I would probably have to call bullshit on that. But considering the fact that he is a politician, the last thing he needs is for some sort of headline to read that, you know, he witnessed the accident but refused to stand around and give the police a statement. You know, all he was taking was somebody to recognize him. But there's a part of me, in the back of my mind, that is still saying bullshit. But either way, he said by the time he got done doing that, he had missed his flight. And it really was no need for him to take a later flight because he wasn't going to get to LA until the morning. And by that time, he damn near was going to have to turn around and come right back because, of course, he had to be back in Albany by Monday morning. So it's not really working for them, right? Something's going to have to give. Now, Bree, like I was saying, we see where Bree and her husband are trying to make it do what it do. We see her coming up on it's Wednesday night, and that's their normal hump day night, right? But she's in the bed eating hot Cheetos and plucking, you know, whiskers out her chin with her bonnet on and in some mismatched pajamas. And her husband is like, okay, you know what? Don't worry about it. Like, this is probably the most unsexy thing I have ever seen. So, you know what? Let's just move hump day to tomorrow night, and maybe we can get a little more, get some sexy going. And she was like, what? Oh my goodness, I forgot it was Wednesday. It's okay, all right, I'm good to go. And he was like, yeah, no, let's just wait until tomorrow. And she was like, are you saying you don't want to have sex with me? And he was like, I'm just saying, like, you sitting here eating hot Cheetos and your bonnet and plucking, you know, hairs and stuff, like, it's not sexy. She was like, I know you didn't just tell the mother of your child that she wasn't sexy. Like, I know you didn't just do that after I done stretched my body all up and out of sorts trying to be your wife and I'm not sexy. He was like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, okay, look, fine, let's have sex. And she was like, nah, that's cool. So when Ari was like, how's that working for you? That's where that came from. We also found out that at work, Bree is doing great at work, down to the point where the new administrator to the hospital has recognized her. Now, shout out to Gary Duran, who is playing the chief, the CEO down to the hospital. You know, y'all don't remember who I'm talking about, the formerly known as Shazar from A Different World, and he was on CSI, the original CSI, the first couple of seasons. Now, we know he had fallen on some hard times, honey. He was going through some things, but he looked good. He looked good, and it's good to see him. It is good to see him looking good. But, baby, he looked like he got some eyes for Bree, okay? He was giving her all kinds of compliments and stuff, and then he said, you know, there's the new chief of surgery position is open, and I want to put your hat in the ring. And Bree was like, I don't know about that. Like, that takes a lot. Like, that's a lot of extra. And he said, yeah, but, you know, it'd be great for your career, and you deserve it. Like, you're great at what you do. And she was like, yeah, but, you know, that's more administrative. I like doing more, like, you know, of the work, of the surgeries. And he said, well, think about it. That's just think about it. Keep it in mind. She was like, okay. Then we see her and her husband. She was late. They was planning the neighborhood block party, and she was late showing up for the block party. And he was like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you're not making the effort. Like, what is going on? Like, we said we was going to do this. I reminded you what's going on. And Bree is being her normal flippant, I have a million excuses self. And he's like, see, you're not keeping up your end of the bargain. And she was like, what are you talking about? He was like, well, we said we were going to keep going to therapy. And she was like, well, when we have time, we'll go back. He was like, see, that's the problem. We need to make time because this is not working. Like, we're slowly heading back to where we started, which was separated. And that's not what I want. But you have to make the effort. You have to put in place make it work. And you're not doing that. You're not putting the effort in. So, that's what's going on with that. That was the first episode, and we will see what we are for episode 2. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and if y'all not watching it, go on over to the BET and jump into it. It's a good show, okay? Talk to y'all later. Peace.